Goosies galore, dude. Goosies on top of goosies on top of goosies on top of goosies. Oh my God. I cannot believe this is an incredible night. An incredible night, ladies and gentlemen. It's late. It's like 1 a.m. right now. Just walked in from boots on the ground. And an incredible night. The Miami Heat have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. On the same night, the Florida Panthers have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. A truly unforgettable, historic night in South Florida sports history. And I just don't even I can't even conceive this. This is so nuts to think two teams that are 8 seeds, two teams that had their own struggles, had their own adversity, had so many hurdles to get over, now find themselves 4 wins away from being in the championship series. They're 8 wins away from a championship. They're halfway there. It's inconceivable. And I was in that arena tonight, just heart in my throat the entire night, because I have the Heat game in front of me. The Panthers game is on my laptop in front of me. And it's just intensity the entire time. Not games that really had any chance to ever relax. And yet sit we here. Here we sit. Sit we here. I can't even speak. Here we sit. Both teams advancing in the epicenter of the sporting universe right down here. Goosies galore, dude. What a freaking night. What a night. And honestly, couldn't send home 2 more obnoxious fan bases in the Toronto Maple Leafs, who's we want Florida, me, top hats and monocles to you, dude. Gonna be sitting here throwing trash onto the ice. Hit the bricks, dude. And speaking of bricks, rhymes with Knicks, which you threw up a lot of them today, dude. And I just got a lot of people that I just want to hose down from that fan base, from their media conglomerate, everything that they got going on there. Because you waltzed into this series and everybody was like, I don't know, even Steven, it's pretty even. I don't know who's going to. And you really sat here thinking like, oh, we have the keys to stopping Jimmy Butler. We have the answers to stopping Jimmy Butler. Then you had the audacity after game 1 to say, well, we didn't have Randall. And meanwhile, I see you guys burning cutouts, burning jerseys, vandalizing this man's face. I see Stephen A. Smith out here saying he's done with him. And you acted like he was some missing piece and key to the series. I really am taking great joy in all of this, because the arrogance of that fan base and the type of coverage and care that the national media gives such a mediocre, tepid product year in and year out, when they don't deserve it, they don't need it, everybody's fine without it, and yet we still have to pay some homage to these bums and act like there's something meaningful to the game of basketball. You're not. And yet here we sit. You guys got to see the franchise that Pat Riley resurrected and created and has just structured in a way that he was just sick of doing with you. And I saw the Godfather today peering onto the court, looking at the Knicks season ending, and it was a thing of beauty. And all I could think to myself was, wow, can you imagine seeing what the Miami Heat have done, one of these stories in sports, and some absolute asshole has to come out here and be like, well, I heard that the weather was an issue. Well, in fairness to the Knicks, it was 77 and clear tonight, so very, very tough conditions for the entire lot of them. For RJ Barrett hitting a field goal, even though that Scott Foster, that criminal, that crooked bum who tried to sway this game Every which way they tried to take it from the Heat. Every which tried to give the Knicks a little boosty boost. How the hell did RJ Barrett had like 8 free throws before they were even 8 minutes into the game? They tried to swing it there. They're doing willy-nilly flagrant fouls falling for Jalen Brunson's flops all over the place, giving them 4-point plays. They did everything they could to try and will this to a Game 7 and pry this series from the Miami Heat. And yet, here we sit. Ding dong. It's over, New York. Once again, celebrate your one series victory, which is what you should throw a parade for. Have a little banner because that's all you're going to get. And to the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, or to the Ben Stillers of the world, or to the Spike Lees of the world, you can all go to hell. You thought you were going to waltz in here. This was going to be some reincarnation of the early 2000s, late 90s. It wasn't. And I just could not think of a worse group of fans for this to happen to. I'm so happy that you guys got to watch Miami end your season. It truly was a privilege and a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the honor of renewing this rivalry where you guys have been sitting up there trying to catch up. It was a delight. It was a delight seeing every Knicks fan step out of that arena with their stupid John Starks jerseys, with their pit-stained Latrell Sprewell jerseys. It was, and I just may say, a delight to see all of that. It truly was. And I got to say, there is a certain place in hell that I want to put that dumb New York Knicks fan who tried to make a montage of Bam Adebayo saying that he was a dirty player. He's not. I took a particular set of joy of Bam Adebayo dunking on your head from Game 3 all the way through the series. The dude was just dunking on Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, 2 guys you said, oh, Bam's not going to be able to handle that. They stopped Evan Mobley. Blah, 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 blah. Well, what can you say now, dude? The duo of Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler now find themselves in their 3rd Eastern Conference Finals in 4 seasons. So how about that, huh? How about that? To everybody saying that, Jimmy doesn't have the right running mate or any of that stuff. Well, that duo themselves find themselves a round away from the NBA Finals. Once again, it's the 3rd time they've done it in 4 seasons together. Pretty awesome, I must say. I want to get to this. Eric Spoelstra, this was him to start off his press conference tonight. It was Goosey's galore. You could just see Eric Spoelstra took such pride into where they are and said, this game tonight, this game that didn't even crack the Hundies, is like, this was a certain way to honor our guy, our president, Pat Riley.
That was the modern day, shoot 63s, score 140, flying up and down the court, aesthetically beautiful. This game, closeout game, was a nod to our president. That was fully in his image and personality. We'll definitely take it. There's been nothing easy about this season this year, and that proved to be true in our closeout game. That was just an absolute grind. I tip my hat. We all tip our hat to the New York organization. They've had a phenomenal year, and this series was everything we expected to be. Incredibly competitive and physical. Each possession was contested the way it should be. Had guys battling through injuries. I guess this was the ankle sprain series, and you just have to admire, how the guys were putting themselves out there, both sides. So we tip our hat to them, and we'll take it for sure. We don't take any of this for granted. It is hard to win in this league. It's hard to win in the playoffs, and it is really freaking hard to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. We've had our normal big audacious goals for this season, but when you get to one step like this, you have great gratitude, because there's a lot of teams that would love to be in this position, and we've had to fight and claw to earn everything that we've gotten in this postseason. We don't take this for granted.
Delightful. And I love the video that he put out of them and the bringing everybody in together, the lead us circle. And it was Bam breaking it down tonight. They give the number 8 as they are now 8 wins away from another NBA championship. And they await, couldn't have been better, two better franchises having themselves a real rock fight between the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics. I'll get to you, Jackals, when the time comes. Finish your business first with your series that goes the distance. I mean, Miami Heat now get to rest, kick it on up for a bunch of days. The series won't start until Wednesday, which means a whole lot of rest for Jimmy Butler, who you have to just say, Jimmy and Bam both battling some serious injuries in this thing. I mean, serious, but really, really painful nagging injuries. Jimmy dealing with the ankle because of Josh Hart, which, again, going back to the whole dirty montage, hilarious that these New York Knicks fans are going to make montages of Bam Adebayo being a dirty player, and yet the dirtiest play was done by Josh Hart, who slid tackled Jimmy Butler and took out his ankle. That's neither here nor there. Jimmy, who very clearly was laboring through some stuff, didn't have that same lift on his jump shot at certain points, or didn't feel like he had that gear that he had in the Milwaukee series. New York is literally throwing everybody they can at him to get the ball out of his hands. And even still, the dude was coming up with big plays or setting up his teammates. It really was just a marvelous, marvelous performance from him and this team. And, to see what they had going tonight, where it really just kept going down to the wire, you needed this fourth quarter to get going, because Jalen Brunson, I will say, out of everybody in this Knicks series, Julius Randle being a head case, RJ Barrett, not very good. Quentin Grimes, showing some guts against Jimmy Butler the last game. Jalen Brunson was a monster. I'm not going to lie. That guy had my cheeks quite tight with all the shots that he was making. It was a very, very impressive thing. But even with Jalen Brunson and his top running mate, Scott Foster, it was not enough in that fourth quarter. Miami just always seemed to be able to find themselves an answer, really just kept New York at bay. And you got just huge shots, huge buckets from Kyle Lowry, huge buckets from Max Strus. It was it really was a great team effort all the way to bring it home. And it's unbelievable, man. To think where this team is right now and to think where they were with all the struggles that they went through this year is remarkable. And Spo, mentions there about that film session against Atlanta when they just got absolutely drubbed on the boards. They thought they were going to waltz in there. And I do feel like that was a lot of the attitude this year with this team, that they had this in the regular season. Just, do we go pedal to the metal? Do we go balls to the wall? How do we go about this? And this was just it was such a strange year, because not only were there no huge win streaks, but every damn game, especially before the All-Star break, came down to like the last 5 minutes. It was all clutch games. It was last 5 minutes, 5 up or down. And they were pretty good in those scenarios, but man, like there were plenty of times where an open three could have sunk them, and you just didn't know what to take from this team. On top of the fact that you had Kyle Lowry at one point looked like his Heat career was going to be over, because Spo wasn't even playing him in the fourth quarter. We find out that he was quite hurt, and there was a lot of Kyle Lowry rumors that were all out there. Seemed like they were talking, are they going to get Russell Westbrook? Are they going to go in another direction? What are they going to do? So to take all of that they have dealt with and to be where they are today, where Jimmy and Bam, head of the snake, Jimmy playing like the best player in the world, Bam Adebayo just completely flipped the script of this series after that game 2 where Hartenstein out-rebounded him. Bam turned into a monster the rest of the series, getting every rebound, boxing out, shutting Julius Randle out of this series, like not making him a factor at all. and then just dunking on all of the New York Knicks. And then on top of that, the leadership and the clutch plays you are getting from Kyle Lowry has been marvelous. The guy was giving Tom Thibodeau migraines of just heady plays and pain in the ass steal. What did he have? 3 steals tonight? Something like that. Just always getting in passing lanes, always finding himself in the right spot. Look, this is why this dude was beloved by Raptors fans, and you have people who will go and die on the Kyle Lowry hill. And I gotta say, man, this is what they were hoping to get last year with him, because this is the thing that's crazy about Kyle Lowry. You didn't even have this from Kyle Lowry in the playoffs last year. Like, Kyle Lowry was very hurt in the playoffs last year. On top of the fact that he was dealing with a lot of stuff off the court last year, and it wasn't, I think, the most comfortable first year in Miami for him. This year, the comfort level was definitely there, but the health still wasn't. But they just gave him the time to get healthy, and he gave some voice to this afterwards. And to see where he's at now, like, this is what they were hoping to get when they gave him all that money and they brought him in here as Jimmy's guy.
I think just being able to stay with it, and having teammates like JB, and an organization that just said, look, get yourself healthy, and that was big. And for me, it was all about getting myself healthy so I can be able to help my team in these type of moments and these type of situations. But it was all about just staying with it, being resilient, and believing in what I've done in my career and what I know I still can do.
They were doing the funnies. It was very funny. During Anthony Chang was asking Jimmy Butler what sets the Miami Heat apart from other 8 seeds. They're only the second 8 seed to make the conference finals. This was Jimmy.
The historical context of just what you guys accomplished tonight, being the second number 8 seed to go to the conference finals. What do you think sets you guys apart from maybe the typical 8 seed?
We got Kyle Lowry.
What's up?
That's my answer.
Jimmy. Ow, ooh, that's a fine.
I just hit my ankle on a table.
What a delight. Who doesn't love the fun that's going on right now? I mean, this is just such an incredible ride. Such an incredible ride. Miami finds themselves back in the conference finals. Eric Spoelstra, dude's a future Hall of Famer. What a marvelous job he's done to not only get this team in position, to get the most out of them competitively, but just the tinkering that he's done with this roster too. Putting Kevin Love back into the starting lineup, having Kyle Lowry come off the bench, letting Gabe Vincent continue to flirt. Gabe Vincent, dude, what a dog. I mean, this guy running around full court, trying to do what he can against Jalen Brunson. Big baskets from him today too, going to the rim. Gabe was tremendous. Max Strus, Duncan Robinson with some onion threes today. So just so many contributions up and down, man. It was just such a team effort to get this final win over the finish line and get Miami to another conference finals. It's just this franchise great, man. There's so much fun. This run between from now and going back 4 years where Jimmy had his first season here, and there's all this talk about whales and orcas and all that stuff. And Jimmy's the guy that came here after a lot of pursuits, and people called him a loser. They said he was going to come down here to retire and he wasn't going to be relevant. And what's more relevant than this? Every single year, this guy's in the conference finals with a chance to put his team in a position to try and win a championship. So the only year that he didn't, they had like 2 weeks off and barely could go and take a vacation before they were right back on the court. So that guy's been just everything and more that Miami could have hoped for when he said that he wanted to come here. Jimmy Butler has been amazing. Bam just continues to flourish and do great things. Kyle, it's great to see him in a comfortable spot. Eric Spoelstra, you can just see how much this run means to him. And that building was on fire tonight, man. That building was on fire. People were fired up. It was Goosey's galore. Seeing the white hot back. McCochin was there. Jalen Ramsey and Christian Wilkins with it. They were enjoying it. Everybody's just like this big sports kumbaya right now, dude. I don't even know what to do with myself. Except just wait to see who they'll take on. But just want it to be known before we get out of here today. Scott Foster, you can go to hell, dude. I know what you were trying to do today. Stephen A. Smith, hope you enjoy that, dude. Go trade everybody that you got to do. Get yourself whatever therapy it feels like you need from trading everybody or ripping everybody. Mwah, can't wait to do it. You do that while we're just sitting here watching good basketball. Mike Greenberg, you are a dummy, and I just wish you nothing but the worst for that awful, awful weather take. Thank you for ruining my week with that. And just a special, special shout out to all of the Knicks fans. Enjoy watching us. That's what you do. And I don't know, you guys will have Candyland dreams of Cat coming to town or Damian Lillard or whatever. You won't get them. And enjoy, your little one series win. That's Bully for you. Good show, chap. Good show. I really wish we would have done it in 5. I would have loved to dress like a gentleman, but the Cats did, dude. I'm a gentle cat, so I'm gonna drink some gin for the Cats tonight. Taking care of the Leafs in 5. The Miami Heat get it done in 6. They are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Goosey's galore, dude.